I found out the way most betrayals slip into your life, quietly, and through someone else's bragging. My neighbor, Joan, had invited me over for tea. She'd always liked my son, Daniel, thought he was charming, polished, a real success story. And he liked to maintain that story like a brand. He told me he just filed his taxes, she said. Said the refund's massive this year. Said something about taking care of you now. You're lucky, most kids don't do that. My cup hovered midair. I hadn't received a cent from Daniel in over 3 years. He hadn't paid a utility bill, hadn't brought groceries. Hell, he hadn't even visited unless there was an audience to clap for him. If you've ever been treated like a prop in someone else's performance of decency, like, share and subscribe. Because this isn't just about taxes, it's about theft disguised as love. I didn't say anything to Joan, just smiled. But that night, I opened my drawer, pulled out my check stubs, social security statements, and the last gift Daniel had given me, a Christmas card signed by his secretary. The next day, I made a phone call to a friend I hadn't spoken to in years, a retired IRS agent. Hypothetically, I asked, if someone claimed their parent as a dependent, but didn't support them financially, what would that mean? It means fraud, he said. And if the parent provides proof? The IRS won't just take the money back. They'll want to talk. I spent the weekend building a file, copies, dates, bank statements, even pictures of my fridge filled with store-brand margarine and expired milk. I wasn't looking for revenge. I was looking for correction. He used my name for profit. I was about to use his lies for justice. The form was simple. The impact wouldn't be. Form 3949, A. Information referral. I printed it twice. One to submit, one to keep. I attached my file. Clear evidence that Daniel hadn't paid a single bill, provided no housing, no medical assistance, and no support in any form. The only thing he'd ever offered was public stories of how much he did for Mom. It wasn't just a lie. It was theft. He didn't just cheat the IRS. He used me to make himself look noble. And for that, I wanted the reckoning to come from the place he feared most, a windowless government office with fluorescent lighting and no room for charm. I sent the file anonymously. 2 weeks later, Daniel called, casual, smug. Hey, I might be buying a boat soon. Got a fat refund. Took care of all my write-offs. Even claimed you again. Again. That word cut sharper than any audit ever could. I didn't know I was your dependent, I said, cool and calm. Didn't realize canned soup and overdue rent counted as full-time care. He laughed. It's just tax stuff, Mom. It's all legal. But it wasn't. Not anymore. I didn't say another word. I let him enjoy the peace and arrogance of someone who hadn't seen the storm coming. The audit letter arrived 4 weeks later, certified mail. I watched through the front window as he opened it outside his condo, lips tightening, eyes darting. He called me that night, angry. Did you say something to someone? I didn't lie. I said something to everyone who asked. About the truth. You should try it sometime. Daniel stopped calling for a while. I assumed he was busy untangling deductions he never earned, talking to tax professionals he couldn't charm, and trying to explain to federal agents how his dependent mother lived on canned soup and late utility bills while he bragged about taking care of her from his rooftop pool. A month later, Joan mentioned she saw him at the post office, looking pale, envelope in hand, sweating in a suit that didn't quite fit anymore. Refund audit, she said. I guess they're asking for the money back. Plus penalties. I just nodded. It's amazing how quickly pride fades when the numbers don't add up and the IRS comes calling, not with suggestions but subpoenas. Daniel sent an email next. No greeting. Just one sentence. I'm going to have to take out a loan because of you. I didn't respond. Because I wasn't the reason he was in debt. I was just the reason someone finally noticed. He'd claimed me 2 years in a row. added thousands to his return. But now, not only did he have to pay it back, he had to prove future claims were legitimate. He'd been flagged. Permanently. That's how the IRS works once you've lied with someone else's name. He had to file an amended return, cough up nearly $9,000, and pay a fine that wiped out whatever luxury he'd planned next. That boat?
Gone.
The promotion he was eyeing? Stalled. Background checks, especially in finance, don't take kindly to tax fraud. And me? I went grocery shopping without checking the bank balance. Bought the good coffee for the first time in years. The silence that followed wasn't just quiet, it was weaponized. No birthday call. No Thanksgiving visit. Not even a Christmas card, though he sent one to Joan, who lives 2 doors down and never lets me forget how hurt he seemed when he talked about the betrayal. He never called it fraud. He never apologized. Because men like Daniel don't believe in guilt. They believe in punishment. And when the person they tried to manipulate doesn't fall apart, they sulk like children caught with matches, more upset about getting burned than about what they try to set on fire. He wanted me to crawl back first, to reach out, to say I'm sorry for protecting the very integrity he exploited. But I didn't. Because I hadn't betrayed him, I had saved the woman he thought was too old, too tired, too motherly to fight back. I heard from one of his old college friends that the loan came through, but just barely. Co-signed by a cousin. The interest rate? Brutal. He downsized his car. Put his condo on the market. The IRS thing messed up his debt-to-income ratio, she said. I smiled. Not because I was vindictive, but because for once, the numbers told the truth. He can't claim me anymore. The IRS added a block to his return. Requires formal, signed consent from me every year now. And I don't sign things for liars. He sent one more email. 2 words this time. Still your son. And I almost replied. But then I remembered I had been a mother. I had been honest. I had been used.
And now?
I was done. The last time I saw Daniel, he was walking out of the bank. No wave. No eye contact. Just the stiff jaw of a man who knows he's not forgiven. Not because the other person won't, but because deep down he knows he doesn't deserve it. He didn't greet me.
He didn't stop to talk.
But the way he looked at me, brief, flickering with a shame he couldn't quite admit, was all I needed. Because some things don't get resolved with apologies or tears. Some things get resolved with silence, distance, and the unshakable knowledge that you refuse to be used like a line item again.
My fridge is full now.
Not fancy, but full. My bills are current. And I sleep knowing that my identity, my name, my place in this world, is no longer a line on someone else's profit margin. I'm not a deduction. I'm a person.
And Daniel?
He can call himself my son as many times as he wants.
But being family isn't about blood.
It's about care. It's about truth. And the truth is, he stopped being my son the moment he started using my life as leverage. Thank you for walking with me through this reckoning. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories where the people they underestimated the most become the ones they can never forget.